The following audio release was produced by Investors Prism, a dynamic financial news and publishing company. Investors Prism's platform highlights companies that have great potential and a strong dedication to building shareholder value. The following audio production may feature a client partner of Investors Prism. Investors Prism may have been compensated for the production of this audio content. Please be sure to read our entire disclaimer for full disclosure.
Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining us on this episode. Simplifying vaccine accessibility. Soligenix advances heat-stable vaccine candidates. Biopharmaceutical company Soligenix has taken a unique approach to getting its therapeutics to market. The company has a dual focus, with its public health solutions unit taking advantage of grant and funding opportunities as it pursues the development of therapeutics for military and civilian applications, and its specialized biotherapeutics business works simultaneously to develop products for orphan diseases such as cutaneous T-cell lymphoma and oral mucositis. Soligenix's work in public health has become even more critical and timely as America moves through the COVID-19 pandemic, contemplating life where COVID might always be present, as well as preparing for the next potential pandemic. The company's COVID vaccine candidate has demonstrated efficacy and broad neutralizing antibody responses against the original strain, as well as variants of the virus in non-human primates. Today, we hear more about the company's work from two experts in the field of vaccine development, Dr. Axel Lehr and Dr. Oriola Donini. Dr. Lehr is an associate professor of vaccinology in the Department of Tropical Medicine, Medical Microbiology, and Pharmacology at the University of Hawaii's John A. Burns School of Medicine, and has close to 20 years of experience in development of vaccines for emerging and neglected tropical diseases. He has led the team collaborating with Soligenix to demonstrate the feasibility of its heat-stable vaccine candidates. Dr. Donini is Senior Vice President and Chief Scientific Officer of Soligenix and has more than 20 years' experience in drug discovery and preclinical development, and her research has spanned manufacturing and clinical development in infectious disease, cancer, and cancer supportive care.
In August, we were delighted to announce positive preclinical data with multiple heat-stable filovirus vaccine candidates. Our in vivo studies demonstrated potent efficacy of thermostabilized vaccine formulations in a single vial presentation, making these new vaccines potential game changers in terms of storage, application, and distribution. Filoviruses are highly lethal, and outbreaks most frequently occur in regions that lack of access to the cold chain storage required for transporting conventional vaccines. With a typically equally uncertain power supply, storage of vaccines requiring ultra-cold conditions is nearly impossible. A thermostabilized vaccine for some of these deadly viruses would be a lifesaver for many.
Filovirus outbreaks are most commonly found in Central African countries, including Uganda, Sudan, and the Democratic Republic of the Congo. So, how do these viruses impact the average American, and should we be worried about them? Filoviruses recently came into sharp focus in the United States in July, when Director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, Dr. Anthony Fauci, made recommendations for a government program to develop prototype vaccines that would protect against 20 virus families that could potentially cause the next pandemic. Filoviruses, including Ebola virus, were among the program's targets.
We have all witnessed recently with COVID-19 how quickly a virus can be transmitted from person to person and through entire communities, causing a pandemic. There were also a few cases of Ebola virus infections that originated from an imported case and spread in the Dallas area in late 2014. Our team was therefore excited by Dr. Fauci's proposal because of the lethal nature of the viruses we're working with. In the case of Ebola virus, fatality rates can reach as high as 90%, but also because of the important contribution that our technology could potentially make to addressing serious public health emergencies in the future. Our platform would enable broader and faster worldwide vaccination campaigns. The ability to combine antigens in the formulation also enables the generation of potentially broader protective vaccines.
Soligenix is no stranger to working closely with the government. Last year, its heat-stable ricin toxin vaccine Rivax received fast-track designation from the FDA and has been funded through a series of grants from the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases and the FDA. The Biden administration recently pledged $65 billion towards pandemic preparedness, including $24.2 billion to develop and test new vaccines for a range of viruses. Given its track record, Soligenix is well positioned as a recipient for future government funding, and its heat-stable vaccine platform is a timely candidate.
We are planning for the very real possibility that COVID-19 is here to stay, and similar to managing the flu, global populations may have to be vaccinated against variants each year. In many parts of the world, the availability of a heat-stable COVID vaccine will be critical to reducing the severity of infections. Soligenix has demonstrated that its proprietary method of preparing vaccines, known as the Thermovax platform, has the potential to eliminate the need for cold chain distribution and storage, offering a cost-effective solution to populations with limited resources for storing vaccines. Syvax, our COVID-19 vaccine candidate, takes things one step further. It is currently in preclinical development, and our team has shown broad and potent immune responses using recombinant full-length spike protein antigens. We also recently demonstrated efficacy and a durable antibody response to the original strain as well as beta, gamma, and delta variants, several months after vaccination in non-human primates. We were particularly excited to observe stronger neutralizing antibodies in animals after infection compared with unvaccinated, naturally infected animals. Syvax will be formulated with the novel Covaxin HT adjuvant, and our previous work with Covaxin HT has shown it can be thermostabilized both alone and in combination with antigens, potentially yielding a single vial presentation of the vaccine. Our approach uses a well-established, well-understood, safe platform, combined with a novel adjuvant and a thermostabilizing formulation. We believe this is a unique approach, and we are very excited about the potential applications for our Thermovax platform and the widespread impact it could have on the global population in the coming years.
As a late-stage biopharmaceutical company, Soligenix is experienced in the development and commercialization of products to treat rare diseases with an unmet medical need. The company's management team has worked closely with the FDA and other government agencies to further its public health solutions business segment, and its specialized biotherapeutics business segment is seeing successes of its own. Its visible light therapeutic for cutaneous T-cell lymphoma, Highbright, has received orphan drug and fast-track designations from the FDA, as well as orphan designation from the European Medicines Agency. With $29 million in cash on hand, Soligenix has sufficient capital to achieve multiple inflection points, including advancing its therapeutics and vaccine candidates. For more information about Soligenix, please visit soligenix.com.
The audio release is an original broadcast provided by Investors Prism. Investors Prism may receive payments for the services provided to its client partners. You should assume that the owners, officers, contributors, and directors of Investors Prism may hold a position in and may intend to trade the securities on their own accounts. This audio production is not an offer or recommendation to buy or sell any securities mentioned in this audio production. The information in this broadcast is presented solely for informative purposes and is not intended to be or should it be construed as investment advice. Stock market investing is inherently risky. As in all investments, investment in featured companies carries an investment risk. Listeners should review the companies thoroughly with a registered investment advisor or registered stockbroker. Information used and statements of fact have been obtained from the featured companies and other sources but not verified nor guaranteed by Investors Prism as to completeness or accuracy. Such information is subject to change without notice. Please see our full disclaimers and disclosures at investorsprism.com.